So starting with our first triangle, we can add the 2 squares and then wall back here so we can properly place the TC. The idea here is to get the TC all the way in the back corner. Next we can place our entrance and wall in the rest. When we place the double door, we want it to swing in. We'll enclose the top, and we also want a double door in front of the TC that swings the same way. Now we are secure and can start adding in our first few items. We want to snug this sleeping bag back here. This is so when we open the front door, nobody can actually see it. Our small furnace can go back here, and I like to place a barbecue and box next to it. Once you have the metal, you can add 2 large boxes in. If you get a shotgun trap, placing it in this corner will do great, stopping people from going deep on you. And that's pretty much the base. It costs... just kidding, let's upgrade it. For our first expansion, we'll add in these 4 triangle foundations and upgrade them right into stone. Add these stone walls, leaving 1 triangle out, and with the roof, we'll leave a gap in the middle with the idea of adding a triangle ladder hatch later on. Before you get the hatch, you can use the furnace to get up. Once you acquire the ladder hatch, you want it to face this way. Hatch or no hatch, we'll still want to build up this triangle and close it with a double door. With the second floor entrance now, we need a way up, which is what this triangle is here for. We can add a spiral stairs facing this way, and I wouldn't upgrade it past wood because we will have to break it later. The first garage door you find or craft should go into this spot facing inward. With the new entrance being further back, it makes sense to move this trap to a place that guards the drop down. So progressing into a level 1 usually happens pretty fast, so we're going to add 2 more large boxes in after the level 1, and we'll deal with the kind of box spam for just a little bit longer. Now if we have a quick look around the outside, this should get you through the early stages of the wipe, but we should be fast with the upgrades. The first thing we'll do is add some stone honeycomb around the first floor. I've pre-marked all the foundations that need to be added in. We can start right outside our front door over on this side. We'll basically add full walls around the entire edge with all the hard sides facing out. Remember to cap off each of these with stone, which will prevent wall raiders from being able to splash 2 floors at once. This small part of honeycomb will work as our new front entrance. We can build 2 single doors, 2 wall frames, and then it's time to get rid of these stairs. The frames enhance our vision after adding shop fronts, and the 2 single doors work as an airlock. We can put a roof over the first 2, but this triangle here will be our way up, and we eventually want to put a triangle hatch here. You could use a furnace until you find one. From the top, we can wall in the hatch, then around the 2 squares and the last triangle. When we throw on the roof, we can fill all of it in except for this 1 triangle, which we will use as the elevator. Once again, a hatch is the goal for here, and facing it this way will actually work as another airlock. When securing the top, it's important that the door faces this direction when you build it. Now a garage door makes the most sense here, and it's even stronger the less triangle hatches you have in your base already. Now we definitely have some work to do on the inside, both with upgrading and building up permanent loot rooms and such, but for an all stone base, this is looking pretty solid.
But looks can be deceiving.
Let's raid it. The best way to raid this is hitting this wall, even though most people would go through the doors at this stage, which is slightly more expensive. The second step is to blow the garage door while splashing the wall behind the furnace. After 3, you'll have access to the loot room, and if you use 1 more rocket on the stone wall, you'll have the TC. This will cost roughly 11,200 sulfur, depending on what you use to splash. Not bad for a fresh base, so let's go up a tier. I feel the best way to do that is straight from the front to add a frame here with a sheet double. Then we can go up and add the same thing right here. Our first replacement comes with this garage door. Now for our living area, let's just section it off a bit with 2 frames and 2 garage doors. This is the perfect time to prep the loot room that goes in this triangle and square section. Let's place our level 2 workbench, but first I like to place the furnaces on the wall here so that the bench fits very close to them. We'll grab the bench now and place it on the wall and into the furnace. And of course, we can get a small box under it. Now a sleeping bag on each floor is a rule I like to live by. This is very helpful in many situations. The loot room is very simple to construct, so with the curtain closing of our Happy Land door, it is built. Wow, that was actually seamless. Nice. Now we will get into upgrading the walls, but first I think it's time we build our main feature. So I've come down to the first floor and got rid of all of our box spam. At this time we need to get rid of this and put up a garage door. Now there will be 2 separate sections here, the vault and the normal loot room. We'll do the vault first. First thing we need to do is build this half-height square, which will then allow us to build this triangle. The idea with the vault is we're going to use a full wall here and transfer loot through these 2 in and out drop boxes. The placements in this room have to be done in an exact order, so I will walk you through them. First, a barbecue and a box go in this corner. The next one we want to place goes in the opposite direction. When we grab our first large box, we want it to be up against the back wall, and then if we strafe to the left, it should end up close to the drop boxes. To check if it's placed correctly, see if you could place this small box here next. We can actually fit a small box here if we kind of strafe to the left again. If we go on the top of this, we can fit a sleeping bag in pretty easy. As long as it turns blue, it's good to go. Our last barbecue small box combo will go right into this corner. It will take a bit of moving the mouse around to find the right spot. On our top shelf here, we want to place a large box horizontally and touching the wall. Line up the middle of the triangle tip with the middle of the box and boom. Our next one goes in pretty easy, especially if you place the previous one correctly. Now this small box can kind of just hang off the edge here. And our vault room is complete, at least storage wise. I'll show you how to upgrade it in just a sec. First, let's come over to our second section here, which will be a loot room. It's pretty easy to build, so it basically builds itself. A regular loot room with the bottom slightly altered and moved to the left, just to accommodate access to both of the drop boxes. With our vault walled off now, it's wise to place another sleeping bag out here, so that when you respawn, you don't end up in the sealed vault unless you want to. Leave enough space for this window frame. A vault is strong enough in any form, but armored walls are the way to go here. So in the vault, first I upgrade this frame to sheet metal, then we can upgrade both of these walls, both the ceiling, this wall, and both of the floors. The final 2 walls are a bit tougher. Now through trial and error, I learned that the easiest 2 boxes to pick up are the 2 up here. Upgrade the walls, and then they are easier to place back. Now this room, by itself, with no honeycomb, is 15 rockets to get into. I will show you how to raid the base after this section, but first, let's go to our other loot room here, and we want to upgrade a few things to sheet metal. This strengthens our core, but also adds sheet metal honeycomb to our vault. Once again, there are 2 walls that need boxes removed to upgrade them, and these are the easiest ones. Now, I really tried to avoid this, but some things, you just can't do, you know? Now I really quick want to say, you can upgrade these things before you put the boxes in the first place, and everything will fit just the same. It's just impossible for me to know when and what materials you will have right now. Either way, once this step is complete, none of it is visible to the outside. So let's make it visible with a raid. The first 4 rockets into this side breaks the bottom honeycomb and exposes the level 2 loot room. The next idea is to use 15 more rockets on the armored wall's top right corner, disassembling the lesser materials along the way. After the first 8, our sheet metal breaks. 7 more and the HQM crumbles. 3 rockets on the bottom right corner to break the final garage door, which gives us TC. This is 22 rockets total, which is roughly 30,800 sulfur. Not bad for a solo, but we could do even better. The first way we'll do this is by adding stone honeycomb around the first floor, which I have already marked the foundations out here. The best place to start will be here at the front entrance because we'll be adding an airlock and some shop fronts. Now when this is sealed, we have a lot of vision out of the front door. On the sides, before we put the stone in the front, we'll want to upgrade all of the outmost walls to sheet metal. When you get to this double triangle part, you can leave this last one stone. Now I like to quickly add the corresponding roof sections on before the walls, but this is personal preference. Finally, we can add the stone, and we'll do this around the entire border. Now you don't have to worry about splitting it into sections here. This will give us one stone, one sheet, and one HQM wall worth of raid cost to get into the core. Like I've said before, every time you expand horizontally, expanding vertically should be your next step. So first, we'll upgrade all of the second floor to sheet metal, just like the first floor. Once your base looks like this, we can come back up to the roof and start upgrading these floors. Come back around to this side and we'll begin adding in stone honeycomb to all of the following triangles. With the first floor costing 27 rockets to enter, leaving the second floor only 8 rockets doesn't make any sense, so that's what we're fixing right now. Once again, with horizontal comes vertical, so let's go ahead and add our third and final floor. These two spots facing the front here get frames on them for 2 garage doors. This is great for storing your helis. Now as a solo player, leaving a heli on an open roof is pretty risky. One cool thing you can build on the top here is a landing pad. Just building out a few triangles in each direction like this will increase the landing space to a size everyone should be able to land on. The outer shell of our base is now done, so let's finish our core. Starting down here, we'll delete the furnace. This is where our level 3 is going to go. Position it exactly like this, and then put the 2 small boxes under it. Leave it rotated so that you can place the sheet metal wall behind it. Before you rotate the bench back, we can place in this smart alarm. And then we could use the sheet metal window frame and the glass window. This is a trick that's pretty cool. If you're wondering how it works, I will link a video somewhere up here. On the second floor, we want to break this door and replace it with an armored double. This is pretty cool because lowering the hatch creates an airlock. Before we go up, we'll upgrade this wall, and at the top, we want to upgrade both this wall and this roof to sheet metal. This is to prevent raiders from taking a shortcut through here. For some low tier items and quick storage after parking your heli, we'll add a tiny loot room up here as well. This loot room is another simple one, so once the bricks on the floor here disappear, I can show you how to build it. And there we go, a very good use of the space up here. And that is pretty much the base, so thank you very much for showing interest in the video. As always, if you have something you want to add, you can join my Discord, link in the description below, or you can let me know in the comments below. By the way, I just got a 4K monitor, so there just might be some 4K Rust content coming soon.